Welcome to Dating History, where every week we take a historical male figure and break down his personality, his habits, his relationship patterns, because while he might have been a European emperor, he also might have love bombed you.
In school, you might have been told to focus on their genius and forget about their love lives and messy romantic lives. But here at Dating History, it's our job to forget about the genius and focus on the messy, crazy lives that they had.
This week, we have the original short king, or was he? Napoleon Bonaparte, the original short king with a superiority complex, a man who was meticulous in the workplace and clingy as hell in the home. This week is a very special episode, though, because we have our first ever guest.
Kylie Brakeman.
Hi. Oh my God, what's up? Is this a kind of stare down the barrel of the lens and say hi
Just
podcast?
for the beginning, and then we
Or a say hi to you guys podcast?
Yeah, so at the very beginning, we make uncomfortable eye contact, and then we turn and make it to each other.
I'm staring down the barrel of the lens to all of your family and friends, and I'm saying hello. And now I'm turning to you.
Turning. Oh, she's such a pro. 4 years into podcasting.
I know how this works.
Yeah.
I've been around the block.
Way better than us, clearly.
Yes, Kylie has been podcasting for 4 years and is a fantastic comedian. So you're well versed.
I felt like I when you said I've been podcasting for 4 years, it actually made me feel like I've seen a ghost. It was just like, oh my God, I think that's my primary job. I think that's literally my job.
Hey, it's kind of everything now.
It's sort of everything is a podcast, and if it's not a podcast, what is it? Well, this is so good because you have like a whole wall that you can play like fuck, marry, kill with.
And I know. Well, should we do that right now?
Wait, yeah, fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill, but you can kill as many as you want.
Exactly.
Right.
Let's do fuck, marry, kill.
No, but you have to fucking marry at least one of each.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you name these men for me because to be honest, I don't recognize.
Henry David Thoreau, JFK, Napoleon, our subject for today.
Okay.
Ben Franklin, Picasso, and Einstein.
Okay, I think off first instinct.
Yeah. We also did Johnny Cash, but I don't know where his picture went.
Wait, is he down here?
Oh, good job.
Okay, we're gonna marry Johnny Cash. We're gonna fuck JFK.
Yeah.
And I guess kill. Actually, that's
actually perfect.
This was kind of easy because
they're two hot ones.
But no, Ben Franklin is not a president.
No.
I was thinking he was a president.
He wasn't, but he was like around
them.
But he was kind of that vibe.
He was totally of that vibe. He was sort of
when
like
someone's a president and all your friends are presidents, people kind of assume you are by association and
proxy.
elevates your
President.
status.
he was kind of he was the father of the founding fathers.
And a pervert.
I don't think he was whatever. Anyway, pervert has become a very relative term on this podcast.
But I will say, as a society, I'm really glad we're using the full pervert as a word again. Like, there was a while where, I don't know, when I was in high school, people were using the word perv.
So elementary.
Pervy,
And you're
but
like,
I think the word pervert
you need the
really
hard
is
T
fun.
at the end.
There's a hard pervert.
No, pervert.
It just rolls off the tongue. Pervert.
I think
it is what
pervert-
it sounds like. It's a pervert.
Also,
A perv
pedophile
is a
sounds
middle
sort of
schooler.
too clinical.
And that word has also been very diluted for me because of how often I feel like everyone... Okay, wait, stay with me.
Go ahead.
I think that I think that for the past 15 years of American politics, it has been only everyone calling each other a pedophile in a way that it has lost all meaning. And there are lots of pedophiles.
And also,
a lot of it's true. But I would like to say Epstein bad. I don't like it. I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that.
A lot of our U.S. presidents would have been in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are.
Most of them would.
There are plenty that...
What are you going to do? That sucks. That sucks a lot. I really hate that.
Anyway, Napoleon, in the context of that conversation, Napoleon, again, he's no Picasso, but
So Picasso is the standard of bad. Is everyone, he's the worst one so far?
I would say that Napoleon actually is probably, for me, about to take the place of Picasso because of how many people died and more...
it's
annihilation.
Hard to compare like such horrible different things, but
we really are being tasked with a
apples and
question
oranges.
I don't even really want to answer.
Yeah,
but here you are today.
Here we are.
Apples and oranges of bad.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like I didn't know much about Napoleon going into this besides Joaquin Phoenix shouldn't have played him in the biopic. What do you know? If not, that's totally fine. But like, what do you think of him based off of, do you know anything about him? Because what I knew was basically nothing besides he sucked.
I really know nothing beyond seeing that one movie that is Joaquin Phoenix. I believe we're talking about the same movie. It came out like 2 years ago, maybe.
No, we have the same amount of knowledge here.
And I walked out with, I think I have like a sort of disease where when I walk into any movie theater, I'll usually walk out going, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I got some popcorn. Like, I feel usually, like, it's rare that I swing so far into like that. Like, so I feel like there were problems with it, but I didn't like totally recognize what they were.
Right.
So all of my knowledge is coming from that movie.
Perfect.
And from what I remember, I was a little confused about timelines of when things were happening, but he seemed very emotionally reactive.
Oh yeah.
He seemed like there were multiple lovers, and he seemed like kind of quick to the draw.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
And we can end there because that's kind of it. He was like impulsive as fuck.
You kind of nailed it.
You kind of nailed it. So Ridley, it's a historical document.
All right. What else should we talk about?
My role in this podcast is being the pedantic one who's like, I looked it up.
Pull it up. Pull it up. She read this. Do you see this?
Wow,
Can I just
book? That is a book.
To start with, Napoleon was born
Just gonna give us a little background.
on August
Okay, I love
15th, 1769, which makes him August 15th, 1769, which makes him a
I know.
Not a Gemini and not a Virgo, but something else, a secret third thing.
called
Fire
a
one?
Leo. I actually
Okay.
don't know any of the
This makes
elements at
sense.
all. I don't know them. I just know that.
It's fire.
He was a Leo. All we really need to touch on with that is like typical Leo. Conquering
I do know
Europe.
Leo. Like Leo is, well, because I'm a Leo moon.
Oh.
Leo is like the entertainer's symbol. It's like you want attention and you love being on stage and you love being like a big gregarious personality. Leo makes sense from the limited what I know about Napoleon because, you know, he wants to be a big guy and you can't be in a movie star at this point. So you
Right.
got to
Yeah.
be a war criminal.
And really,
Damn straight. Paint
Napoleon.
yourself on a horse.
Really, Napoleon wanted to be a TikToker, and he couldn't
Yeah.
be. So he conquered Europe.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what we're here today to talk about. He was from Corsica. He's from there. He goes to military school in France. He becomes an officer in the military by the time he is 16.
Ugh, extra.
He was bullied at school because he had this accent. Everyone was like, ha, you talk funny. And also, you're not as noble as us. He had one older brother and then 6 younger siblings. The older brother was kind of useless. So he was basically the eldest of the family in terms of vibes.
Okay.
There were also 5 more children who were stillborn or did not survive infancy. But it is understood that he had 7 siblings. And his father died, and then he became like man of the house. His family was put under financial pressure, and it was his job to figure it out, which he did via several methods, including one of the women. How does a dowry work? Who gets the dowry?
It's like cow for lady.
Right. So they got a lady. They gave away
You
a
have
lady.
to give a cow if you want.
They got a lot of money.
You are a dad and you give a cow so that
you give
will
money.
take your
so
lady.
they got
It's paid for by the bride's family.
Right. Okay. So they got, one of the methods was that a brother married a woman and they got money. A Bonaparte married a woman and got paid to do so. That is an insulting practice.
Hey.
But anyway, that's what happened. That was one of the ways that they got more money.
Yeah, it's kind of bananas.
If you give a guy,
and
give
like
a guy
whole new
a cow,
thing to be insecure about how big your dowry is and how much people care. Like, man,
I don't even-
would have been rough.
they probably cared.
They probably cared a lot.
There are 2 other men on this wall who this also applies to. He lost his virginity probably to a prostitute. Do you want to guess who the 2 other guys were?
I'm gonna go Ben Franklin and Albert Einstein.
And in fact, it meant that there are 3 men who have lost their virginities.
And Pablo Picasso.
So now you're 2 out of 3. It was Ben Franklin, Picasso, and JFK.
He did convert.
JFK. Aww.
Right.
He did. He was very
stimulating the American economy. Basically, Napoleon meets up with, he sees this woman, can tell she's a prostitute, sort of like mansplains at her for a long time. She's like, we can get down to business. And he's like, she was dying to have sex with me. And so then they have sex, and he journaled about it after. That was his first time. Then he had a girlfriend. His older brother had married a woman and gotten a dowry. We're back. Dowries. That woman had a younger sister. He tried to court her, and he did so by sending her a list of books he wanted her to read, and also signing her up for like music journals and telling her to practice her harpsichord or some shit.
Okay, lame.
Yeah, and which to me though, I was like, oh, the active Spotify playlists is ancient.
It's been
been there
forever.
all this time.
Yeah.
He was 24. She was 16. She ghosted him and stopped replying to his letters. He had to move on. And now we're out. That's his introduction to love. And now we're through. So that we can get to Josephine, which is the whole point of this, and what you guys know a lot about.
So this was just setting the stage. This is what he's, you know, he has, his first time was with a sex worker. He journaled about it. He was in his feelings.
Right.
And then now we're here.
The sort of cool thing about Napoleon is that the entire time he's so clingy. Like, it doesn't matter who it is. He's really clingy. So
he's first. He's right away.
So he met Josephine. She's 6 years older than him. And he used to write to her letters, sometimes twice a day, on the same day as battles. He's like in it, being like, I miss you.
You can always text back.
Right.
Yeah, if he wanted to, he would, etc., etc.
Right. But she didn't want to, and she would respond like once every 2 weeks and be like, stop.
And he did not get the message.
I think I viewed a lot of the world through this viral tweet from years ago that I don't know who said it, but like that every creative pursuit is at the root caused by horniness or revenge. I think the same can be said about like wars of this time. Like, I think a lot of it was like, I'm doing this, obviously I need to write about it to like this lady back home. Like, I think a lot of it was just like, it wasn't just war.
Well, Napoleon was not cool, so it's also like it's to try to impress women, and it's like, actually, no, like, look at how important I am. I have all these men fighting for me. He wasn't cool in school. He wasn't slick with ladies, and so he was like, this is how I'm going to prove it to everyone. But it didn't even really matter, because jumping ahead, spoiler alert, he had a second marriage after Josephine, and that woman ended up cheating on him with a general that he had defeated on the battlefield, and it didn't even fucking matter, because she was like, I still would rather have sex with him over you.
Ugh. See, that is such a crazy thing. I really do think that stands the test of time, though. I was talking to my friend the other day, and he was talking about how he's starting to be very successful in his individual career, and he's very excited about it. And he's like hyping himself up, and he's like, Annalisa, you have no idea. I'm going to have everything. Like, it was a little childish. I'm going to be able to do whatever I want. I just want to have like fuck you money. He was like, I just want to have no one feel like they can reject me. I just want everyone to feel like, and I was like, wait, what, like, women? And he was like, yeah, like, I want to feel like there's no woman that would reject me.
That doesn't
and
exist.
I was like,
there's no amount of wealth that it doesn't exist, because Elon Musk is a fucking loser. Like, there's no, you can have the most amount of money and power, and women still will be like,
nasty.
Ugh. Like,
well,
that is
that chilling?
Bone chilling.
Yeah, is that chilling?
No, but like, seriously, I
think no one could ever reject me.
Yeah,
I understand what you're going for.
It's what Napoleon was trying to do. He was trying to win so hard.
If you have so much land, no one could ever be like, I can't be with this man. But like, I mean, going back to like
Instagram followers land.
Yeah, Instagram followers land is all the same thing. But like, there was so little you could do then to impress someone. Like, he couldn't be in a band. There were no bands.
Right.
There were no improv groups.
Thank God he
couldn't.
couldn't
What do you invite her to?
Right.
Where do you go?
I love improv group being up there as top wooing technique.
It's the only other thing I'm aware of. I was not in a jock social circle. I know that some people are involved with football games. That frankly disgusts me. I don't know anything about that, and I don't know anything about that culture.
There were tools at the time that were available to him that he did not take like dancing, wasn't a good dancer. And also the act of sex itself, which for him was like 3 minutes long. So there were things he could have done
How
at
do
the
they know
time.
that in the book?
Because he told.
How did they get there?
Because he told on himself, and he told an aide the whole matter was no longer than 3 minutes. Why would
so
you
funny.
self-report that?
Honestly,
Isn't that
that's
tough?
insane.
And then multiple women commented being like, you're not good at this. Like throughout time. Yeah, many women were like, oh my God, one said he was too furtive with with his touch. Anyway, it was like widely held that he was bad. So there were things that he could have done, aka like being good in the sack, that he didn't do.
Well,
so
all I can say is thank God that he's not alive today and like a bass player somewhere on some improv team just steamrolling everybody.
Yeah.
Like thank God, instead he just conquered France.
UCB 201 is safe. They're safe.
he
You
just
can speak
conquered.
up in scenes, ladies. He's not going to do this to you.
I think though that like Napoleon himself should have been like a manager of like a Joann's fabric. Like we'll get into it in a second, but he's like a super micromanager general who really just should have been like regional manager of like a chain of local gyms, and he would have crushed that shit.
He's like a detail-oriented
He's super
person.
fucking detail-oriented. He looks over everybody's shoulders. He's correcting numbers. He didn't need to kill so many people to make his point about being good at his job. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
Yeah.
I said the other day, if God were a woman, Donald Trump would be running a Japanese game show host and like the whole network too, and just driving everyone insane, but it would be so contained in one reality television network, and they would just be like one thing.
If he just like had something he could clock into and that was enough for him,
Or if Elon Musk
cool. Why can't we just go what's that thing called? What is
Laser
this
tag?
called? Laser tag. Yes.
That is a fucking crazy pull. That you knew that's what she was saying.
Hey.
That is fucking
Because
insane.
it's something that's not easily accessible to me because I've never done it. I'm not
never
really
done
familiar
laser
with
tag?
this culture, and so it's like, but if men were just constantly laser tagging, I think they wouldn't need to go to war and they wouldn't need to kill so much.
Right.
Oh, they love killing.
But if men had like a weekly laser tag, would war be a thing?
Laser tag will save us from fascism. Get everybody into a laser tag group. Have them develop a sense of self. This is what we need.
healing inner child type stuff.
Napoleon conquered Europe, and truly, I don't know why. He basically did it for fun.
You don't know why he wanted to, or why this happened.
No, like I read this book, and they were like, then he went here, then he went there, and there was no like because it would obviously lead to. It was like he hated Austria.
I feel like Napoleon is the epitome of a guy who just cannot read the room. Like he does not give up.
He can
It's
read
dude,
like a
get the
map like
message.
fucking
Yeah.
dirty. Like he can read a map like nobody's business, and he can read like a diagram in a way that people are still like, but he can't read like social cues.
He just could not get it.
You kind of got to pick one. You either know which upstream guy to like put where on which front line, or you can tell if someone's like kind of trying to leave an interaction, but you can't have
Exactly.
both.
Right.
You can't have both.
And people really pride themselves on being one. Like the people who can't do one console themselves that they're like, I have the better one. You know, like the people who can read maps are like, but I can read maps. And the people who can like leave a room gracefully are like, but I can leave a room gracefully.
We should be bragging about being able to leave a room gracefully.
God,
Damn straight.
amen.
The day I discovered the trick of, and I just from watch, it took me too long to realize this, saying like, it was so nice to see you is a way to leave.
Yeah.
It took me
And you
so
went,
long to figure that out as a hack. And then as soon as I did, I was like, oh my God, everything's so easy now.
You have to cut time and wow.
It's not like I'm constantly trying to get out of things. It's just like, oh, this is how you go.
You know what's
Yeah.
a genius?
You get
What my
out of it.
And no
mom,
one's mad at me. This is how you go, and no one's mad at me.
my mom does this
No,
on the
it's
phone
polite.
all the time, where she'll be like, "All right, well, I'll let you go," and I'm like, "Wait, I don't
I'll
want to be.
let you
I
go.
don't want to be let go of. Stay on the phone." She's like, "All right, well, I'll let
But
you
that
go."
means
Now. But
she
it's
wants to go.
genius because it's
I
like,
hate that.
I'll stop bothering you, but it means she's like, "I'm tired of talking to you."
No, I've started to use I'm going to let you go.
It's so good.
I'll stop interrupting your day. It's like I need to leave.
I'll let you get back to your walk now.
I don't want to interrupt your walk anymore.
I'll let you get back to your evening.
Like, there's no way to say it there's no way to leave without giving some kind of excuse.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though
That's
though we
tough.
don't need to.
That's a problem.
That
People should
is.
just be able to be like, I'm done now.
yeah. Okay. I would like to leave.
I think that's so much better.
Thank you so much. I would like to go home now.
Thank you so much. But that's like, thank you. I'm
Wonderful
done.
party. Thank you for
That's
having me.
perfect.
I need to leave immediately.
I think
I need to go home right now.
I have to go.
I think that's perfect. I would like everybody
That's
to
so
do
much
that.
better. I'm gonna have to go now.
But the problem is everybody has to agree.
Wait, my
we
new-
all have to enter a social contract where we say, I'm hanging up. Goodbye.
My big
It's like
thing though,
speeding on the freeway. If everybody goes 80, everybody goes 80.
Maybe eventually we'll get there.
Everybody-
I actually think that the current generation, I think Gen Alpha, less social skills because of the iPads.
Yes.
I think we will reach a place where people just, when they want to leave, they say, I have to go.
now I'm sad about
Everybody's
that though.
speed. Everybody say,
Everybody's
I like
speed.
it.
I would like to introduce a new fact, which is that Josephine was famous for a move that historians don't know what it is, but it was determinedly sexual in bed, called the zigzags.
So I don't
Do with
know.
that what you will.
What do you think
What do we
the
think it
zigzags
is? Yeah, what
are?
do we think it is?
Zip, zap,
the
zap.
zigzag. Zip, zap, zap.
Doing zip, zap, zap.
It's something that
after
no
sex.
one's ever thought of before. It's a move
it
no
was-
one's ever
It was
thought of before.
specifically hers. It was known as her thing.
What's crazy is that she invented a long time ago and no one ever did it again.
And no one ever did it again, so it must have been weird. Must have been weird, really worked for some people.
Or people aren't talking about it the way that she was.
The zip zap?
The zigzags.
I'm guessing she's on top and she's kind of just going like, whoa, whoa,
Yeah, yeah,
whoa,
that's
whoa,
what I
whoa,
think
whoa.
so too.
And I think she's kind of going sideways instead of forwards and backwards.
Well, that's the thing is,
I
all
think
these
she's
historians were
slapping
like,
him around.
who knows what it could be? I was like, she's zigzagging.
she's
zigzagging.
she's zigzagging on that
She's
beat.
zigzagging. She's zigging and zagging.
I don't know what else it could be, to be honest.
And we don't know for sure. Historians have been trying to figure this out for decades.
Wait, I need to tell you something major, which is Annalisa likes to joke that every single man that we've ever met or looked at, but also men that we meet in person, look like they have scabies. And Napoleon...
I literally just had scabies. Wait,
Oh my God.
Your
No
couch is
way.
safe. Your couch is safe, and everything is fine, and we're weeks out.
Wait.
but I obtained
That's
the
awesome.
disease, the 18th century
No
disease of
way.
scabies.
No
Who, what,
way.
where, when, how?
I can't believe this happened to me.
So fun.
So
Let's
over
hear
a
it.
3-week, so I can't pinpoint exactly.
Okay.
I think I got scabies within a 3-week period where I stayed on in 10 different places. Like, and it was like bad hotel, good hotel, couch, good hotel, okay hotel, New York City and San Francisco. But yeah, it just appeared, and I only like knew to even, because it just looked like a bug bite. It's
Wait.
not actually as gross as it sounds.
No, walk me through it. Like how...
So it's just kind of bumps that go in a zigzag. It's zigzag bumps, and it looks like a spider bite or anything, but just like distributed in a way that is like a distinctive scabies pattern. And I only knew to look it up because I had a friend who had scabies once, and she talked about it for a while. And so I was like, maybe this is scabies. And I looked it up, and it was.
You might have never known.
And I would have never known. I would have just walked around giving people scabies.
How far...
Scabies,
how,
more common than you might think.
Actually,
how
yeah.
far, what part, if you don't mind me asking, what part of your body was it?
Thank you so much for
populating?
asking. The scabies was on my legs and my arms.
Okay.
And it was
Very-
fine.
it's very
and how do you
classy.
treat
But
it?
it
Like
can be worse.
Like a cream?
That's classy.
So, you treat scabies by putting a cream on yourself that you're not allowed to take off your body for 8 to 15 hours. And you can't let it like touch stuff because it's like kind of toxic to pets, and like it's not, and it rubs off, and it
it's
has to be
killing
contained
something
on,
inside of you.
Yes, it's like a dangerous cream. So I spent
Dangerous
and you have
cream.
to do 2 doses 2 weeks apart. So I spent 2 days like covered head to toe in cream and wearing gloves on my hand and just typing on a laptop in gloves and goop.
typing
This
in
is
gloves and
so
goo.
serendipitous that you are our scabies guest. I can't believe that.
Little Carrie Bradshaw.
I was wondering when this would ever come up on any podcast, but I think a
is so
historical one
awesome.
is right because I don't hear of. I'm
No.
the second person I've ever met who's gotten scabies,
Oh,
but I'm sure a lot of
crazy.
people haven't and they don't know it.
Oh my god! And then they can't cure it because you kind of have
No,
to
no.
get the cream.
You
right?
do have to get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cream.
yeah. You can't cure
Yeah.
just by sitting.
No.
on.
I mean, you can't just let it go away.
You can't let it go
No,
away.
so Napoleon just
gotta
had
zap it like you
Napoleon
just
just
did.
had scabies.
He's had like permanent scabies.
yeah, and yeah.
Oh my god, I'm like
Imagine.
Napoleon.
You're like
Nasty.
and the,
You're like
the
Napoleon.
But
similarities
I
are
want to
startling.
be clear that I was very good and very ethical, and I sent out so many texts as if I had gotten an STD of like, "Hey, I sat on your couch, I had scabies. You were within the window.
Kind of like the Kobler right after COVID. Like, hey, I'm so
You
sorry.
had an exposure.
I walked by
Wait.
your house, neighbor, and I have tested
What
positive for COVID. I have no symptoms.
Forget
Yes,
Napoleon.
literally that.
What did people say to that text? That was really nice of you. I'd like to say, admitting
People
it to
were-
everybody.
People were like cool about it. One person who knew how bad it was like, okay. Like she understood the severity of the situation because
she the one who'd had it
Yeah,
before?
she was the one who
Yeah.
had it before, and I had like stayed at her house, and so I had to be like, I am so sorry to tell you this.
Probably.
I don't think like hers was really long, a really long
Then
time
no,
ago.
you can't. Yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah, it spread. It usually you can only really spread it through like I'm sleeping in the same bed as someone or like prolonged skin to skin contact. So it kind of is an STD.
Yeah.
Like
And
in a
it's
general
little
sense.
mites
But like
under
it's
your-
kind of like, oh, I was on someone's couch, I should let them know.
That's when you had it.
That was really nice of you. You're a really good
Damn.
person.
Wow, are you glad that I'm the first guest?
I'm so glad you had scabies.
glad
I'm
this
so
is what
happy.
we're talking
I
about?
can't tell you how
listening.
grateful I am that you had scabies. It's
Now-
gonna do huge
Now
things.
everybody's listening is going to be like, is that a mosquito bite?
Yeah,
And
that's
can I
true.
be honest? This is the first time I'm going public with having scabies.
And you're really brave for that.
Thank
and
you
we
for doing
really
that on the
appreciate
pod.
it.
I wanted to choose the correct platform that would have been receptive and kind and open
and placed it in historical context.
and placed in a historical lens. I would like my scabies is historical.
Yeah.
It's a slam poem.
Wow.
About my trauma. But
scabies.
hey, scabies is common. If you get a bug bite and it keeps going, you might have scabies, girlfriend. Look it up.
Yeah, girlfriend.
oh my god.
Girlfriend,
Okay,
I'm talking
well,
to you.
Anyway,
Thank you
for sharing
anytime.
that. Especially
Napoleon married
Napoleon
Josephine.
had scabies.
He had scabies. She was like, "Ew,
What
sorry,"
I have
but you couldn't get rid of them.
No, you're allowed to. That doesn't offend me. You can call it as
the
gross
thing is,
as you
I
want.
haven't been saying scabies every single time.
Do you want to say what you've been saying? It's
rickets? They are the pirates' diseases because they were based on like deficiencies and having deficiencies when you were a child.
Right,
and
lack of
pirates
nutrition.
lived on seawater and sunshine and little scallywags.
Yeah, and hardtack.
Hardtack.
Did you guys
and
have a school
scallywags.
field trip where you had to eat hardtack on a ship?
I wish.
Wait, what is? Yes, what is? It's like the gross bread.
It was it's like the gross bread. Did you go to the Queen Mary?
No, well, where are you
I
from?
did.
Maybe it wasn't Queen.
Isn't Queen Mary the cruise?
It's in
Queen Mary's
Long
the haunted
Beach.
one. It was like a weird, like 18th century kind of ship that was sort of small, and they made us do like shifts where we would get up at 3 a.m. and like watch the water.
Oh, we didn't do that.
My school did a thing called the Underground Railroad at Nature's Classroom, which was like a program where we went to like a camp for a weekend. And we were in, the first time I went, I was in 4th grade, and the second time I went, I was in 6th grade. And they had us all in the dark, line up on a basketball court where they acted out a slave auction and then had us run through the woods to demonstrate or like pretend like we were trying to make it to Canada.
Yeah, that's rough.
I specifically remember one counselor who, now that I think about it, probably had something to drink, who was getting way too into character. Who was
Oh
like,
my God.
"Here is your 13-year-old and she's pregnant." And I remember being like 10 years old.
Oh
being
no,
like,
he was making a
"There's-
meal out of it.
Yeah, there's no way you're serious.
I wonder
there was
what he's doing now.
There was one guy who was like, "Oh yeah," and he's riffing. He's doing backstories, and all of us are kids in the dark, being like, Yeah.
No, once it's a creative writing assignment, that's bad news.
No, it was really bad.
I
It was
wonder
really
what that
bad.
man
Yeah.
is
So
doing
anyway,
now.
that was a real experience, and it came to me like last year. I was like, I remembered, and I'm
Oh my God,
pretty sure we did
remembering
it
things from
twice.
your childhood. Woo.
Yeah, it was really.
Or
And then
you
we
wake up in the night and you're like, they shouldn't have taught me that way.
Well, thank
They
you for
look
sharing.
horrified.
We're
as
all
you
horrified.
should. Isn't that unbelievable? I just want to say that my laughing is out of shock and not condoning it.
So Napoleon was obsessed with this chick. She wasn't into him, and he tried to.
They got married.
This is Josephine.
He got married to Josephine. She's 6 years older, and they both lied on their marriage certificate. She was like addicted to saying that she was younger than she was, so she'd constantly.
I actually love this.
I know,
Wait,
me too.
she's a
Me
total
too.
badass. So
she was,
rare.
She was like 34, and she'd always be like, "I'm 29. I'm 30. I'm just
Wait,
30." And then
she's
he
such a
said,
modern
so they made
woman?
them.
Yeah,
She
I like
said
that.
I like
she said
her.
she was 30, and he also said that he was 30, but he was 27 or 28, and she was 34, and they met in the middle.
Okay.
So she's coming into it. She had had an abusive marriage before that. Her husband was guillotined 4 days before Robespierre's fall.
classic.
The 2 kids, but he sucked, so bye. And then she had 2 kids from that marriage. She comes into this marriage with Napoleon, immediately, not even starts cheating on him, just keeps hooking up with the same person she'd been hooking up with, like didn't change anything. He goes off to Italy,
A woman that
tries
knows
to
what
conquer
she
Italy,
wants.
chase out the Austrians, and he's like, come visit. And she's like, no. And then she tells him that she's pregnant so that he'll stop bothering her. And she either had a miscarriage or more likely just wasn't pregnant and was just like trying to get him off of her back. And then eventually she went and visited him, but mostly she was just having sex with other people. And then this is an important part. At one point,
Wait, she said she was pregnant to be like, he'll hate this.
no, like I can't make the trip.
Oh, to get out of seeing him.
Yes, to get out of seeing him.
But she didn't. She was saying that without knowing that he wouldn't be like, oh, that's my kid. I gotta come.
Obviously, as if you'd come home. Are you
I
serious?
gotta go be there for the kid.
No, obviously not. She was like, now I have a
I feel,
way
like, I feel like people had kids back then, like they had like fish.
100%. 100%.
They fought and one of them died.
I got this at Petco. You shouldn't room them together.
He literally later on,
Yeah, they hate each other.
Can't
This
put the
one's
red-
swimming a little weird. Better shoot him.
Don't put a red one and a blue one in the same room. They'll both die. Rip his head off.
what's upsetting about this analogy is like it's not far off. He later got a woman who was like 17. He got her pregnant to prove that he was capable, that he wasn't impotent, and that he was capable.
Oh, just like a tester.
He is a
tester
tester
kid.
because he didn't have like an ability to go into the like fertility clinic, so
He
he
was
knocked
so-
her up to prove that he could get someone pregnant.
Only one way to find out.
Right, exactly.
Such an
and
insecure.
then he turned to Josephine and was like,
I
"Why
can
no
do it.
babies?" Yeah.
So it turns out my fertility is great.
But the reason there were no babies is because she was 34 when they got married, and unfortunately,
She was lying
the
about her
biological clock, there was an egg freezing, and she couldn't have any more kids, and so then
34. Okay.
Well, no, 34 when they got married. By the time this is
okay.
happening, she's like in her 40 in her 40s.
A geriatric pregnancy.
Right.
A geriatric pregnancy.
Right.
Which my-
Geriatric pregnancy, by the way, is like 35. Like it's not even late.
I was from a geriatric pregnancy.
Whoa.
Me too.
Wow.
The term geriatric pregnancy is so insulting, and there's got to be something better. But anyway, he knocked up a 17-year-old who he was one of his mistresses and was like, look, she's pregnant. And it was occurring to him that he was going to need to have an empire. And the way to do that is to have children that were legitimate, because obviously the one that he had didn't count. Obviously.
So he was 40 and he knocked up a 17-year-old?
Yeah, something like that. He was in his 30s.
That's
late
normal.
30s.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
I'm happy
norm.
for him.
And then
Way to go, man.
What are you gonna do?
Sick.
he circled back to
I'm
Josephine.
just glad it's 17. You know,
That's really good
for this guy, I've much love to her, and we're all victims, and she is, of course. But for this time period, 17, I think we can. I think I'm okay.
You were bracing yourself for 12.
I was bracing for 12. Really thought it would be 12,
Could have been 12.
which would have been also awful. All trauma is valid.
Right. He at 40, you'll be thrilled to know he married an 18-year-old, not younger.
He reminds me a lot of
yeah.
Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
Yes,
like
this is very Gaston.
the big cartoonish, except that he was
Only
not
other
hot.
French guy I've heard of from this time period.
Okay, wait, is Gaston?
But you're right, though. You're right.
Is Gaston based on Napoleon?
No,
if
because
you-
because Napoleon looked like that.
I know, but think about
But
it.
Gaston and vibe. I'm with you.
Think about it. Gaston walks around so pretentious, big ego. For what reason? For what reason? He really wants to prove himself. He's always singing about how he's the talk of the town. Everybody kind of hates him. He kind of sucks. He's a bad vibe. He's a vibe kill.
Probably
and a
negs
bunch
like
of
that.
women. Yeah, and like a lot of women who don't really understand what's going on are like, oh my God, who's this? But the one woman he wants, the queen, Belle, he can't get her because she's just not interested. She wants the books.
She wants those.
She just wants the books.
Wait, my toxic
And he's running
trait
around.
is that I used to wish that she ended up with Gaston instead of the
It's
beast.
so funny. She likes
Well,
Napoleon.
that's a dog, and like she should have ended up with the man. That's a dog. Come on. we have to aim higher. That's a dog. So I'm going to support you on this. Be with Gaston. He has his problems. He's
with-
people.
Be with the guy with the big ego who's a dick instead of the dog.
His clocks don't say anything.
No, we forgave the beast
Also,
way too easily for his insane behavior.
It was too much.
He like put her in the dungeon, and then she's like, "Oh, but
he
he's
locked her in the house
tall,
also.
But he's tall. But he's a beast.
He's tall.
But he can read. He can't read. But he's learning to read. He's not learning to read. But you can teach him to read." She gave him so many
I
chances.
kind of think though that this is a common dating pattern that we see is that women are like, I don't want that obviously toxic man who's so clearly really bad for me. I want to go over to this one who's just misunderstood.
Who's
like there's
even more toxic.
who's actually way worse.
Who's a dog?
Who's really toxic, but also just like has a personality disorder you can't even diagnose. And that's harder, actually,
It
to
is.
overcome.
It is. Anyway, obviously no toxic men, but I think a lot of people pick the beast. Don't pick any of them.
That is such a
The
funny
beast just
thing.
sounds like a lot of work.
I also kind of like think I'm on the same page with you for Gaston.
Yeah, I think
Wait, this is healing as
I was
fuck.
like kind of on board, just sort of like, you know, I was saying yes before I really like
felt it in your heart.
felt it in my heart, but now you have me. I really don't think
She should have been
she should have been with the beast.
Was Gaston really in love with Belle? No. He just wanted the prize, the woman that didn't want him.
so
And
true.
I really feel like this is Napoleon's vibe. Just wanting to prove himself and putting on a big show, getting this big, like, whatever performance, being a performer and accomplishing so many cool things that are masculine and objectively cool so that one woman could maybe look his way.
Well, the interesting
which
thing about it
never
is
happened.
he was like completely obsessed with Josephine, and he ended up taking a lot of mistresses. And then, you know, she was older, she was not interested, but he remained obviously not physically loyal. Imagine that. But he
Never.
Even at the end of his life, he was like Josephine. It's said that his last words were like, France, the army, Josephine, the head of the army, like he or she, or the head of the army, Josephine.
Whoa.
So that would mean that his last word was Josephine. And he wrote in his like recollections, like, actually, you know, Josephine was the one I really loved. She was really the one for me. But you know what it reminds me of is it's giving Al Pacino and Diane Keaton, where he was like,
Al Pacino and Diane Keaton?
do you know what I'm talking about? So Diane Keaton, may she rest in peace. Really
Yeah.
sad.
Oh my God. Recent brutal.
Sorry, I know, really sorry.
Really-
I'm sorry
really
to bring
love
this up.
her.
I'm sorry. But Al Pacino apparently, upon learning that she died, was like, I should have married her. Like, she wanted to marry me. She was always the one for me. And then she died, and he was like, I should have done it. Mind you, he is a 2-year-old.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So after she died,
Oh my
and I saw these
God.
tweets that were like, men will literally wait until you're dead to want to commit. And I was like, anyway, but that's kind of Napoleon's vibe, where he was like, at the end, once it's too late, he was like, I should never have gotten divorced. I actually really loved her. It ended up also being totally pointless because his empire fell in his lifetime. So the whole point of like having more children so that it could live on, it ended up being like for naught. But anyway, Al Pacino and Diane Keaton, may she rest in peace.
Wow,
Oh
that's
my God.
a really weird thing to say after someone dies.
I know. My takeaway from this whole thing, both in the romance and in the wars and the empire and all of it, is the vibe that I feel like we have a tendency. Things are bad right now. Just to be clear, in 2025, things are bad, but we have a tendency to be like, things are true, like have never been so bad / relationships have never been messier than in 2025.
Right.
Like we all have situationships, and because that's a new term, we are all the messiest we could have been. It's like, that's so insanely not true. Like everybody was cheating on each other. Everybody was basically having deeply messy situationships all the time. They were just technically legally married.
You were just doing like, you would have a situationship, but with a mistress instead of like,
100%.
like you would have already been married. Yeah, we're just moving the time. We're just shifting around where marriage is in the whole equation.
It was basic, or you could even have a messy situationship with your spouse, but the stakes were just a lot higher because now you're tied to each other.
Yeah.
But you were like, will they, won't they? Like Josephine and Napoleon would like fight and then like cheat on each other and then like come back together. And
They
then,
were
like,
such a Mexican telenovela. Like his whole life really was.
Yeah, it seems like it kind of lives for drama.
I think today, if Napoleon were alive, he'd be a mega church pastor.
Ooh, yeah.
And he'd wear like tight clothes that do not look good on him.
we every week on the show also have done a thing where we quote them verbatim, like an insane fucking thing that they said. And unfortunately, it's often really easy to find, and often there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
For Napoleon, the real thing he said that I found is, women should not be looked upon as equals of men. They are, in fact, only machines for making babies.
Oh,
Honestly, machine is kind of a nicer way of putting it. Like, you could frame it as like, she's a baby making machine, you know? And
Like,
it's like,
you're
good.
good at
like
the
it's a
silver
little
lining.
Like, it's a
girl
compliment.
It could be girl boss.
Yeah.
If
Right.
interpreted.
Girl, you're a machine at that.
That's so true.
He also, so when he found out that Josephine was cheating on him, he immediately like took up a mistress because it was worse to be cuckolded than it was to be cheating. That was like so much tougher if you were in the military and everyone knew that your wife was cheating on you and you weren't doing anything as well. It's such a worse look than cheating on your wife.
Oh, they have like a poly sort of like spitting contest. They have to. You have to be doing it too.
Wait, Napoleon
You
and
have to be
Josephine
worse.
should have been
You have to be
polycule.
worse. You have to be worse than your wife.
I just think Napoleon could have done a lot. He was clearly an incredible mind, and he could have done a lot of things, and he did not need.
He could have done so much
Was
for the
he?
chore chart at that polycule.
Exactly.
Thank
He
you.
would have created a system that was equitable and fair, and everyone would have been happy.
He would have had a chore wheel.
He would have.
So funny.
He would have been so organized.
He would have been manager of a co-op like no one's ever seen. Like,
Oh, and the vegetables would have been harvested on
They
time, and the dishes would be out of the sink, and people would be in the beds for the same corresponding amount of time. He would have done it. He would have done great things.
Great things.
The one thing that I will say is really funny about Napoleon is learning about him, even in history class. I feel like even history textbooks don't like him.
Yeah.
Historians don't like him. All the paintings of him are not flattering. They're not cute. The ones that he had painted of himself, he's like on a horse or like has a flag in the background. But the way historians interpret him, he's like not looking good compared to a lot of other leaders. And also just the way he's described, the basic terms of like the type of person he was, I think he just kind of sucked. And I think historians picked up on that vibe years later and was like, fuck this guy.
It's so funny that everyone was like,
call him
"Ugh,
short?"
this guy.
Suddenly,
He's not even short. And like
That
He's
is
not?
No. Thank you for bringing that up. 5'7".
That's not short enough to like
Yeah,
make
it's
a
like
big
pretty.
deal.
It's not really anything to bring to talk about.
What's a
happened
normal
is
height?
A like political cartoonist who had never seen him before called him like puny bones and just made him really small, and now it just like ran with it, which is again so
People
tough for
hate
the
him.
fate of Napoleon that he made himself an emperor of Europe to be this like grand important figure who's the most masculine of all, and some guy was like, oh, you're short, and now that's what he's most discussed as.
The
my
same
God.
way Elon Musk wants to be like cool so badly.
It is,
Yeah.
it is
This
giving
guy
Elon.
wanted to be powerful and hot so badly.
Yeah.
And he
He's-
took to an offense.
He's annoying. This is annoying. I'm like looking
Doesn't
at
he
him
suck?
with all this information, and I'm like, this is annoying. Honestly, I hate to invoke him on the pod, but it's kind of Trump. a little bit.
No, I wrote this
It's
down.
kinda Trump,
I
kinda.
completely agree. He is
This
literally
is sounding a little like
Okay.
everyone ubiquitously is like, this is an unpleasant man. He is the most unpleasant man I've ever seen. But we should listen to his ideas.
He's kind of funny.
He is Trump if
Not
Trump were
funny.
detail oriented and like actually like could finish sentences and like did things on time and didn't just eat Diet Coke. He literally is Trump because people would be like, he would be like, these are the new rules now, and everyone would be like, oh, that's actually he's like, no, this is what we're working with. And he got rid of a whole bunch of press because he was and like publications because he was like, you're not writing what I want you to. So he just got rid of all of them. So no, he really is like, it's giving him too much credit, but Trump has taken things out of Napoleon's handbook for sure. Like there are so many parallels like that.
So
actually,
so funny.
This is crazy how this happens. I feel like people just hate making decisions and they'll let crazy people do it.
All of history is some dude being like, now it's going to be this way. And everyone being like, okay, I don't want to die.
So.
I don't want to die and I don't want to make a stink of this at my job. So I'm just going to like.
People being so conflict avoidant and being like, I don't want to like say anything. Because they could be like beheaded.
That's what's rough about us as a society.
We're like, oh, that's not good. But, there's a new Dancing with the Stars out tonight. So what can we really
Vote
do?
Robert. Another segment that we do is
you're dating a Napoleon. So we say you're dating one of these problematic figures if you have these signs in your modern relationship today. So we have some here. You're dating a Napoleon if he owns a social media platform and deletes mean tweets about himself.
I'm seeing a little dash of someone else in there.
Yeah. You're dating a Napoleon if he makes you feel like an assistant in your own relationship.
Wait, that is one of the biggest themes of the podcast is they all have made except for Henry's perfect, but everybody else has made the women in their lives like essentially their secretaries. Einstein was one of the worst at that. Picasso definitely did that. Like they would kind of dictate like
that's the worst.
Like fetch after me. Yeah. I was going to say, I think you're dating a Napoleon if like suspicious amounts of money are leaving his bank account and he won't tell you what they're for because he was supporting, he had
for
like 20 to, right. He had like 20 to 25 mistresses throughout his life that he was just like he couldn't acknowledge the illegitimate children. Right. So then he just would like support them and be like, shh.
You're dating a Napoleon if he sends texts that read like military orders.
I feel like a lot of I've seen this sentiment from girls being like, I want someone to order for me and I want him to say, get dressed, your dress is on the bed, and I'm like, ew! I can't imagine anything worse.
And you're like, also,
order for me? Does he know to order a salad with avocado and no cheese but chicken added and like the most annoying salad order ever?
Does he know I do want the dressing but put it on the side but put half of it in first?
And the different type of dressing, not the one it usually comes with?
Yeah.
I know it's a Caesar salad.
And get some of it to go. And I do want the croutons, but I want to add them later.
I know it's a Chinese chicken salad, but I do want the Caesar dressing. Yes. No, I know. I am aware.
I know. And I've tried it.
I will say one thing really quick. I did have an experience a week ago that I do have to bring up and I do have to address. I didn't want to, but I do have to.
Annalisa went viral.
Okay, so what happened is I go on a date.
Yeah.
It's a great date.
Yeah.
And I offered to split the bill. And he was like, I mean, okay, sure. And I was like, I'll just Venmo you. And he was like, sure, if you want.
Wait, I know what this is. I did see this.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all over the place. He was a nice guy. And honestly, the date did go really well. And then he texts me later and he says, hey, I sent you a Venmo request for the wine earlier. This was just for a glass. This was $14.
It's
one glass of wine.
That's crazy.
And then he said, also, I had a really great time with you. I would love to see you again. What are you up to this week? And the third text was, here is the screenplay I was telling you about. 138 pages. That is
But
too
here's
long
the thing
for
that
a
happens.
This is like a
screenplay.
triple punch
No,
of just
it
like,
was-
I
it
need
was.
$14. Notes on my screenplay. It's long.
Yeah, it was. But
Was there any chance you were on a general meeting and not a date?
That's what I thought. I left Katie a voice memo about this immediately after because I was like, Katie, I don't know if this was a date. It was.
Yeah.
It was a date. So I tweet the picture and I tweet, should I call the police with the screenshot of those 3 tags? It goes very viral to the point where my boss sends it to me and goes, uh-oh, girl. And what he sends me a few days later, I was praying to God. I blocked him from my story. I asked my friends to block them. Oh my God. He posts this. He sends me a picture of the tweet and he goes, hey, I saw this, ... voice memo, 1.5 minutes. And I was at work and I couldn't open it for 7 hours. So for 7 hours, I was sitting there seeing that there was a voice memo from the guy that I subtweeted and that went viral.
That's the thing.
My
Yeah.
God. Did you listen to it?
I did. He thought it was funny and he understands and he was very nice about it. And he was being funny about it.
Okay.
Thank God.
I love you doing crisis control of trying to block him on your story as if it wasn't reposted to 5 meme accounts. Like you being like,
I know.
maybe he won't see it.
Yeah.
Maybe
And it's
he
gone
won't.
so
It's
far
gone so
outside.
viral. It's like,
I
Now-
wonder if this was the first draft of the voice memo he was going to send or if there was an earlier version where it was like, hey, that was fucked up. And then he like took a couple hours, took a beat, took a walk, and then was like, it's actually really funny, I thought.
That being said, I think Napoleon would, after a first date, send you his screenplay. Not even ask you if you want to read it. Just send the PDF, 138 pages, and be proud of it.
I think he'd point to like something he was proud of. I think he'd be like, and let me know when you get to 110. Like, let me know when.
I want to
And
hear
like
your
it's
thoughts.
going to blow my mind.
But yeah, is there anything that you would see a modern guy doing and think that's kind of what Napoleon would be doing?
I think it's people who, I don't know, like make requests that are not part of it, that are not part of what we're talking about. Do you ever go to a restaurant with a friend where it's like, I don't think that's something I know we were just talking about this from the opposite perspective, but I think there are some things where it's like, you're not asking about this in a way that like makes any sense. Like you're like, can you hold the salad for a while? Like it's like that kind of ask where it's
Can
like
you
that
burn it?
actually I know that the POS system, it's ringing up in the kitchen and they're gonna make it and then they're gonna deliver it. There's nowhere to put that in a restaurant for a while.
Just being annoying. Can you burn it a little bit?
Yeah.
And then cool it down? Just like something dumb.
Can I get a French toast cold? Cold. Last time it was hot. I want cold.
It was way too hot. No, yeah.
I don't
put it in the-
understand. You have a walk-in. Put it in the walk-in. Take it out. Remember me.
That is actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's exactly
Just
what
like
it is.
not reading the room.
Yeah.
Just being a bad vibe. We usually talk about would we have dated them even if we think he's a dick and we wouldn't have ended up with them.
And also dating them, you don't have to have dated them. You could have had one beautiful night. You could have matched on Tinder and then never spoken. You could have,
I think in this time period, if this was my ticket to some easy money, I might have had a Napoleon baby.
Right.
Because I feel like you
love
wouldn't
They
have
were
to
set
do
up for life.
You wouldn't have to do that much after.
100%.
And I bet everyone else is awful also.
Also, Josephine
right. They're
started
all bad.
to her. Also crazy. There's no word for mistress if you're a man.
Mr.
Monsieur.
The guy that she was hooking up with,
Monsieur.
her
Monsieur.
He started like allocating like military funding away towards himself, basically embezzling funds, and she got in on it. And then Napoleon was like, "Hey, stop! You can't do that." And she was like, "Ugh, "Fine."
Fine, I want to
So if you were Josephine, you could either embezzle his funds, or if you were one of his multiple baby mamas, you could just like take the setup and run with it.
You actually guessed. You were like saying, I was like, Kylie might say anything about whether or not she would have wanted to date him, and you were like, yeah, she might say she wants to start embezzling his funds and taking his money.
did
Like,
you
that's
actually?
amazing.
Originally,
Did you predict I was a hustler?
On Annalise's
Sure.
version. Oh yeah, start embezzling
did
his
that.
funds, Josephine.
She wrote
No way.
Katie just put an example of something somebody could do, and it's actually what you said.
That's so crazy.
That's really funny.
No, it's just, I think it's like...
We ran this girl's former podcast appearances into ChatGPT, and we analyzed what she would think about Napoleon Bonaparte.
Did you say yours?
I would probably like, because he apparently, he had a cute dog. I would take his dog and run away.
Ooh, yeah.
I think for Napoleon, I just think Napoleon was so focused on work and I think he wouldn't have given me enough attention and it would have bothered me. I think I would try it because I would be like, oh, apparently very smart, a lot of buzz around this man. And then I would be like, you're gone all the time. Like that's the thing with all of these guys. We talked about this on a much, 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 much smaller scale with Johnny Cash. Is it's like, even if Napoleon was off doing benevolent things, he's just gone. Like he's just never around. And without texting, I think I would be like, I'm not getting any attention.
Would you want him around though?
No, I wouldn't want him around,
sucks.
but I think I would want a partner around.
Yeah.
So I would be like, I'm never, even if he was great, I'd be like, I'm never going to see you like this. It's too long distance. Yeah. If anyone wants to know about the random mistresses he hooked up with, I now have so much information on these people. I'm going to be the dude at a party who's like, somebody asked me about Napoleon. Somebody asked me about Napoleon.
Yeah, so I think we've covered just about everything. This guy sucks. One of my least favorites.
This is what the ending of every episode sounds like. Is it sounds like I'd be like, in conclusion, this man was the worst.
In conclusion, this one was probably the ugliest one we've covered.
This man was, we didn't even really talk about it, but responsible for the most bloodshed for no fucking reason at all. So... and just deeply unnecessarily, and also could compartmentalize. That's the other thing. I think if you can compartmentalize too well, like something's wrong. Yeah. That's my hot take. And he could compartmentalize really well. And he was like, war's war, home's home, blah, blah, da, da.
Damn. So that is Napoleon. Any last thoughts?
More like Bona poo-pooed. No, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you
this guy
so
sucks.
much for being on the podcast.
Oh my God, what an angel.
You know what I wanted to say really quickly? In his letters, he would say to Josephine, he'd be like, and say hello to the Baron de something something. And people didn't know if that was a dog she had or her vagina.
Oh my God.
My God.
Anyway. He liked it funky and he liked it fast, and that's Napoleon Bonaparte. That's
episode 7 of our podcast, Dating History.
Thank you so much for being the first
everybody.
guest.
Thank you for having me.
Listen to Kylie's podcast.
I am more than just scabies. You can listen to my podcast, Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists. It's an improvised actors on actors, and you can follow me at Deadeye Brakeman on Instagram and other platforms.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
Well done. That was clean. That was like
clean plug.
That was like Hot Ones at the end when they're like, stay where we can find you. Okay.
I'm media trained. Okay.
She's
Good night.
ready. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Dating History. It is Katie here with the final episode fact check. First things first, Leo is a fire sign, it turns out, which makes perfect sense. Secondly, Napoleon's last words are said to have been, France, the army, head of the army, Josephine. In 2023, WGBH did a piece on the Underground Railroad simulation in Massachusetts, and it has ended at the Nature's Classroom facility in Massachusetts. However, as recently as 2 years ago, it was still listed on Nature's Classroom websites in Ohio and Alabama. Crazy. The famous saying from Napoleon to Josephine about returning home in several days and telling her don't wash has been contested by historians, but Andrew Roberts included it in this biography, seeming to think it was true. Anyway, that's all for the fact check. Thank you again for listening or watching this podcast. This podcast was created by Annalisa Burns and Katie Massey. You can find us at Dating History on Instagram and Dating History Podcast on TikTok. Our podcast is filmed by Alec DeLand with sound by Sam Lederman. It's produced by Rookie Media. Our biggest source for this episode was Napoleon, A Life by Andrew Roberts. Special thank you to the Los Angeles Public Library and Octavia Lab. Please let us know who else you'd like to hear about in future episodes. You can send segment ideas and episode ideas to datinghistorypodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening. See you in 2 weeks when we cover a man who had 4 wives. Bye!